The League Cup quarter-finals await for Brighton and Hove Albion. Tonight they take on Arsenal with a chance at history. Never before has a Seagulls side made the semi-finals of this competition, but then never before has a Seagulls team started this season quite this well. Arsenal, the opponents, the 7-time winners of this competition, in frightening form themselves, but in a season of so many firsts under Dario Vidicic. Can the Albion make another tonight by beating Arsenal and making their way to the final four of the Women's League Cup? Well, Brighton and Hove Albion make 3 changes from a disappointing defeat to Liverpool at St Helens. Melina Lurk has been the cup keeper of choice, and the German replaces Bagley again for the quarter-finals. Pattinson and Bergsvand keep their place in a back 3, where they are joined by the returning Maria Thorisdottir in place of Yorelin Karabali. The 4 in the middle, from right to left, is McLaughlin, Lasada, Chankovic and Oleslagers. Villa Marla and Seke play behind Madison Haley, who replaces Nikita Paris up top. Arsenal are on a run of 9 straight wins, but that hasn't stopped Renee Slegers shuffling the pack. They make 6 changes from the weekend win at Crystal Palace. Zinsberger comes in between the sticks, and it's a new look back 4 for the Gunners. Only Katie McCabe survives from the weekend. She is joined by Katie Reid, Lottie Vubenmoy and Laia Kadina. Leah Volti replaces Kim Little in the middle and plays alongside Kyra Cooney-Cross and Frina Mordam. Former Seagull Alessia Rousseau leading the line. Beth Mead, who loves the goal against the Albion, will play on the one flank with the incoming Rose Kafaji on the other. The 21-year-old in for Maria Caladente. Well, history on the line for the Seagulls, and a player that knows all about winning competitions and winning cups is Vicky Lasada, who meets in the middle with McCabe, Arsenal's captain for this evening. Lisa Ben is the referee. She's being assisted by Lorraine Catchpold and Ella Broad. The 4th official, Joanne Hallwood, stands between Dario Vidicic and Renee Slegers in the 2 dugouts. 2 managers that have taken to the WSL like ducks to water. Vidicic from the outset, Renee Slegers after just 4 games where she replaced Jonas Eideval in the dugout for Arsenal. And what a run it has been since then for the away side tonight. I mentioned it moments ago, but on a run of 9 wins in a row, unbeaten in 12, winning 11 of those. Certainly a tall task for the Seagulls this evening. They have made a habit of punching above their weight this season, and perhaps an opportunity to do that again in the Women's League Cup. Before kick-off, players from both sides take the knee to show there is no room for racism or discrimination in football or anywhere else in society. Villamarla over the ball in the centre circle, and this quarter-final is underway. Pattinson. Back on it for the Seagulls, starting positively. Such an important factor in this game, particularly given what happened to the Albion at the Emirates back in November. Pattinson has given it to Mead. Mornham for company. It's in field to Kyra Cooney-Cross. Kadina. First touches for Kafaji. Volti. Arsenal have evolved and adapted under Slegers. Early delivery in towards the path of Rousseau. Drops kindly at the edge of the area, kindly at Cooney-Cross. Youngster Katie Reid. Now Frida Mornham. Long diagonal from Vubenmoy, runs just beyond Rose Kafaji. And it will be Brighton and Hove Albion throw. Rachel McLaughlin to take. Madison Haley given the opportunity, given the nod to start up top tonight for the Seagulls. Big shoes to fill, with Nikita Paris making way. Has 6 goals in all competitions. Mornham rides a challenge from Lasada. Volti takes over. Here's Rosa Kafaji looking for that half yard. Albion hold firm for now. Kadina. Sprayed forward all the way through to Melina Lurk. Brighton and Hove Albion can start again at the back with Guro Bergsfond. Such an important player for the Seagulls, the Norwegian centre-back. Tends to be the starting point for most of their trips forward. Spraying passes out from the back as she's being entrusted to do here. Villamala, neat turn in a tight space. That wasn't bad from Pattinson either. Arsenal back on it again with Manuela Zinsberger. Just a 5th appearance of the season for Zinsberger in all competitions. Daphne van Domzelaar preferred for the most part this campaign. Something for Kafaji to chase. McLaughlin quick off the mark to get there first and see it out of play. Very impressive first season with Brighton and Hove Albion so far for Rachel McLaughlin. Torres Dotter cleared into space where Karakuni Cross was waiting. Brighton and Hove Albion could surge over halfway though with Pattinson. Seke trying to hold her run out on the left. Seke back to Pattinson. Delivery drifts out of play in front of those travelling Arsenal fans. Got forward at real pace there though, the Seagulls, and Poppy Pattinson and Kiko Seke combining well up the left. Meanwhile, there's some concern here on the far side. Rosa Kafaji down on her haunches very early on. That seemed to be away from the ball. Those are always the most concerning. Chance for Albion's left-hand side to get some instructions on board. Seke and Pattinson, who started the season with a bang. And that victory over Everton, both were excellent that day. Seke, of course, with the hat-trick. Slowed down slightly since in her return, but still an impressive debut campaign for the Seagulls. An early stoppage, and all of a sudden, those muscles that had only just warmed up starting to go cold again. Mentioned the last time these two sides met and the scars that might still be etched in on the Albion. That 5-0 defeat for Brighton and Hove Albion at Arsenal. It was a really difficult day at the Emirates when the Seagulls were full of confidence, were flying high in the top 4 of the WSL. It was a rather grounding game. Responded well to it. Still at 5th in the current league table, but taking this cup competition very seriously. Daria Vidicic made that point clear in the week. Still, attention focused on Rosa Kafaji. I wonder whether in that battle with McLaughlin, a stray arm from McLaughlin just went back, and that may have been what caught Kafaji. Weren't too many appeals from the Swedish winger herself or those in the black Arsenal away kit. Lisa Ben just making sure Kafaji's okay to continue. Mentioned Madison Haley earlier. There she is, in the middle of your screen. Haley, who's been given the opportunity. Made just 13 appearances last year, 6 of them starts. Already her 4th start this evening. Well, in order to stay warm and stay sharp, Brighton and Hove Albion back line started stroking the ball around on this chilly Crawley evening here at the Broadfield Stadium. And just as quickly as that has started, Kafaji back to her feet. And hopefully Lisa Benn with the opportunity to get the game back underway. If you are just joining us, you're tuning into My Albion TV's coverage of Brighton and Hove Albion versus Arsenal. 8 minutes played, but only about 3 minutes with the ball in play. Since been waiting for Rosa Kafaji to receive treatment for a bloody nose. Well, the restart after a false start. We're ready to get back underway with Lottie, Hove and Moy. Sideways to Zinsberger. Back to Hove and Moy again. Fired forward, well held up by Beth Mead. Wonderful first touch. Kadina. Mornham now up against McLaughlin. He just flicks it out of play. Not taking any chances, Rachel McLaughlin. Certainly not against Frida Mornham, who ran the show in the last meeting between these two sides and scored a screamer to boot. Alessia Russo. McCabe looking down the line. Chankovic taking over. Lasada sees her clearance blocked. Bergsvand will spray it forward to Haley. Now Lasada waiting for the contact to come from Mornham and riding it. Wonder how important Vicky Lasada's voice will be on evenings like this evening. Slight mix-up with Bergsvand there, and it's got the Albion in trouble. And Russo pulled the trigger, didn't hesitate there, Alessia Russo. Can you blame her with the form she's in? Miscommunication between Lasada and Bergsvand, and it ran through to Alessia Russo, who thundered an effort towards the top right, and leaning back, just sent it over the crossbar. Early sighter for the former Seagull. Pattinson looking down the line, and he finds the boots of Katie Reid. Seike just switched off. Cooney cross. Zinsberger rolled short. Kafaji. Into the channel for Kafaji again. Chankovic there to win it back. Haley racing into space. Has Seike to her left. Here is Kiko Seike. Holleschlagers. Better from the Albion. First time they're really asking questions of this Arsenal back line. Chankovic into Lasada. Scoop towards Seike. Header on well by Katie Reid. Villamala on the loose ball. Pattinson keeping it alive. Running out of room here though, Poppy Pattinson. Dotter. Now Lasada, popped sideways to Cankovic. Lovely ball back to Lasada. Just found too many black shirts between her and the goal. Albion's midfield perhaps the most rotated of all their positional groups this season. Tonight, it's been entrusted to Lasada and Cankovic. Two across the middle with Ola Schlagers tucking in occasionally. Cankovic leading the press at the moment. Summer arrival from Chelsea. Cooney cross. Lovely ball through to Alessia Russo. Albion want a flag, and it does eventually come to their aid. Scarily quick break from Arsenal though. 3 passes from back to front, and Alessia Russo was bearing down on Melina Lurk one-on-one. Katie Reid into Kyra Cooney cross, who shifted over halfway. Russo made a run between the centre-backs and was picked out brilliantly. Just started a tad early. Approaching the quarter of an hour mark. Still yet to see either goalkeeper tested. That in large part due to the stoppage we had just 2 minutes into this game. Villamala fighting to keep it alive. Haley. Advantage the way of the Albion. Cankovic. Steamed into by Kafaji. Pattinson. Now Seike. Getting no change out of Katie Reid thus far. Done well there to take over though, Seike. And will force an Albion corner kick right on the quarter of an hour mark. They've grown into this game, slowly but surely. And the Seagulls have their first set piece in a threatening position. Seike's delivery blocked, and the blue and white shirts can trot forward, and no doubt Maria Thorisdottir and Gura Bergsvand will have their eyes on this. 2 Norwegian centre-backs very capable in the air, particularly Bergsvand. Haley standing on the toes of Zinsberger, in front of those Arsenal fans. In it goes, towards the 6-yard box. Led easily by Vubben Moy. Hammered away by Mead. Pattinson to take the resulting throw. Arsenal just forced to do a bit of defending over the last couple of minutes. Thorisdottir. Away by Ola Schlagers. Mead taking over. Always lurking with intent, Beth Mead, particularly against the Seagulls. One of her favourite opponents. Her favourite opponent as far as WSL statistics go. 7 goals, 5 assists against the Albion. Ola Schlagers. Pattinson. Angled wide by Lasada. That's changed the angle for Brighton and Hove Albion, and suddenly McLaughlin can get her head down. Now Maria Thorisdottir. Still very early on, but momentum currently with the Seagulls. Ola Schlagers. It's a lovely ball into her path. Haley. Ola Schlagers. Touch let her down. Move was building nicely. Verben Moy. Not sure Zinsberger really wanted that. Chankovic goes sliding in. And the throw will go the way of the Seagulls. Haley. Trickles out of play. Goal kick for the Gunners. And one that will come as some relief. Well, Brighton and Hove Albion have had their spells almost every game they've played this season. Taking advantage of them, the key. Against Manchester City away, had chances to make that an even better result. Certainly in the defeat to Chelsea at Kingsmeadow. Brighton and Hove Albion were fantastic in moments. Weren't able to take their chances to claim victory. And that 4-2 defeat, which really could have ended 5-4 to the Seagulls on another day. Can they take advantage of the positives they've already shown against Arsenal? Lasada. Now Pattinson just drops the shoulder on Beth Mead, and away goes Pattinson. Couldn't find a blue and white shirt. Lasada emerges with it. Villamala. Lasada. Thorisdottir. Round the corner to McLaughlin. Chankovic wanted too long. Volti. And now Cooney Cross can slow things down again for Arsenal. It's back to Lottie Verben Moy. England international. Played in the United States, in North Carolina for the Tar Heels, part of the US collegiate system. Rare miscontrol by Beth Mead. Possession with the Seagulls again. Ola Schlagers. Couldn't control on the chest. Volti. Rolling it into Kafaji's path. Russo wants it in behind. That's where it goes. But quickly off her line was Melina Lurk. You can hear the voice of Dario Vidicic bellowing out from the technical area. And start for life for the Seagulls he's had. Pattinson, a little too cute, a little too clever. And Arsenal are back on it. Now Mornham trying to angle that one into Alessia Russo. It was a tidy idea from Mornham to slice across that ball. It's ended with the Albion breaking away through Madison Haley. But no shortage of quality about the two sides between the thirds, but still, somehow, yet to see either goalkeeper make a save. In fact, the only shot whatsoever came from Alessia Russo, a pot shot from 25 yards that fizzed over the top right corner. That's it. Bergsvand. Pattinson down the line to Seke. Tried to scoop it in field. Leo Volti will take over. Reed. Back towards Vubenmoy. Via Kadina. Here's Kafaji. Trying to skip out Pattinson, and it's run kindly for Mead. Pattinson recovers. Mornham hit it first time, got underneath it. Sent it over the top. Well, when probably Pattinson initially missed that sprayed ball wide, you wonder whether Beth Mead would just gallop in and tuck that beyond Melina Lurk. Maybe a few years ago she would have done. Pattinson recovered. Mead was forced to set it back off to Mornham, whose effort was a poor one. Now Guro Bergsvand again. Given away by the Albion. Cooney cross straight down the throat of Lurk. And the let off though for Brighton and Hove Albion. Guro Bergsvand a little leisurely about her pass out from the back, and Cooney cross rather rushed the shot. Zinsberger. McCabe, Volti. Katie Reed, back to Lottie Vubenmoy. Forward from Volti again. McCabe back to Kadina. Arsenal with possession, but not really for the moment going anywhere with it. I wonder if they could just inject a little extra tempo into their passing. They'd really caused Brighton and Hove Albion problems. It was with speed and ruthless efficiency. They've torn through the Seagulls over the last few seasons. Katie Reed trying to inject some of that here. Cooney cross. Mead. Kadina. Kafaji. Russo with her back to goal. But of course, begin with the Seagulls, Alessia Russo. Scored 3 in 7 for Brighton and Hove Albion, including their first ever goal at WSL level. After arriving from the academy of Chelsea. Then left the Albion for a journey America to North Carolina. Mead is straight offside. Brighton Hove Albion with a free kick. Something Poppy Pattinson will have to be aware of. Not the first time Arsenal have tried to sail one over the left back's head and get Mead away. Guro Bergsvand. Arsenal to step up their pressure. Now Rachel McLaughlin hasn't been too involved in this first half. Chankovic, sublime footwork. Thorsdottir. Haley. Slightly behind Chankovic. She'll be bringing under a spell regardless. Well, by this stage of the last meeting, Arsenal were already 3-0 up, so Brighton and Hove Albion will consider that a positive. Could look even better here if Kiko Seke hadn't just stepped offside. Arsenal in a hurry. Ruben Moy. Sideways to Zinsberger. Spin almost as you'd expect, a straight knockout cup quarter-final to be. KG quite safe by both sides. Very few risks being taken. Kadina. McCabe. Spraying one over the top for Kafaji. Russo and Mead waiting for a delivery. Rosa Kafaji laid off to the edge. McCabe, best chance of the game. Hammered it goalwards after Kafaji's layoff. Came out of nowhere, McCabe, and wrapped her foot around it. Started the move, very almost ended it. Kafaji got away, past McLaughlin. Teed up McCabe from 17 yards and just couldn't get over it enough to sweep it into the top corner. Still, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 0 in this Women's League Cup quarter-final. Lofted forward by the Seagulls. Ruben Moy. Back to Zinsberger. Katie Reid. Let's find Zinsberger. Ruben Moy trying to stop Villamala from closing the keeper down. Russo, forced to drop deep to find some touches, Alessia Russo. It's been largely starved with the ball leading the line for Arsenal. Ruben Moy gets away with a heavy touch there. On the Schlagers. Lasada slipping, and Kafaji can take over. Up against McLaughlin. Kafaji's done well, so too did Rachel McLaughlin. Stealing across to slide in and see it away. Looked like Kafaji had found her half yard to shoot, then hesitated again, and that just allowed McLaughlin to lunge in front of the effort. Will be an Arsenal corner kick though, their first of the game. Will be Cooney Cross to take. Australian international exploded onto the scene with her country, still just in her early 20s. Player of so much quality. Can cause damage from set pieces as well, and she has one here. No shortage of black shirts to aim for. In towards Ruben Moy, who tried to backheel that goalward. Will be a second successive Gunners' corner. In swinger from Cooney Cross, near post it goes. Lasada can volley away. McLaughlin cleared as far as Mead. Now Volti. Kafaji. Mornham. Reid to deliver. Chested away. Cooney Cross seemed to be shaping to hit that. Forced to bring it down by Chankovic. Volti. And Reid. Mornham trying to thread the eye of the needle to find Alessia Russo. Lovely turn out of a tight space by Villamala. Suddenly the Albion are looking forward. McLaughlin has Haley down the line, skips past the challenge. 4 blue and white shirts for company. Here's Madison Haley. Story's daughter has somehow found Seike, and Seike has found touch. I'm not sure Kiko Seike was A, expecting that ball to find her, and B, expecting the flag to stay down. It did, and it created an opening. First touch was brilliant, the second one left something to be desired. And just over, or just under a quarter of an hour to go till half-time. We'll have a hefty chunk of stoppage. And it is still goalless between Brighton and Hove Albion and Arsenal. The game opening up slightly over the last 10 minutes. Sinsberger and Lurk still waiting to make their first save, really. Cooney Cross firing one right at Melina Lurk midway through the half. Lasada, bit of space for the skipper. Madison Haley. Pattinson. Vubenmoy. Mornham with good strength. Katie Reid certainly not looked out of place. Arsenal's number 62, the right back, just 18 years of age. Made just one appearance last year. This her 6th of the current campaign. McCabe swinging one in towards Russo. Saved well by Lurk. Best sight of goal for Alessia Russo. Ran onto a header at the edge of the 6-yard box after a good delivery from McCabe. Ghosted between the centre-backs, and Lurk reaches up to pluck it out the air. Albion slightly shaken by that chance. They've given Arsenal a throw in a very dangerous position. Cooney Cross. Katie Reid, chased down by Seike. Cooney Cross, guiding one into the path of Alessia Russo. Can open up her stride, well timed by Guro Bergsvand. Lovely step across Russo. Stop the England forward, scampering away. Vubenmoy. Mornham into Reid, chopped back to Russo. Strikes one across the face of goal. Was asking someone in black to attack it. Seike still with work to do to get this away. Pattinson puts her boot through it. It's not enough. Russo. Jankovic can eventually sweep up. Just as I say that, the Albion have given it back to Arsenal. McCabe, Mornham. Gunners starting to look ominous in and around the penalty area. McCabe again. Albion pinned ever so deep. Kafaji. Has to be hooked away. Volti. Russo trying to roll past Thorisdottir. Timed her tackle well. And the away side just starting to get a stranglehold of possession now. Doesn't bode well for the Seagulls. Another delivery in towards Russo. Thoris Dotter skims the forward head of Mornham, her compatriot, as it drifts away. Back with Mornham. Cankovic just giving the Albion something to build off and winning a throw to relieve building pressure. McLaughlin to take. Now Villamala undersold the pass, which was intended for Pattinson. Mead, Volti, chops away from Cankovic. Space again for Arsenal on the left, too much of it. Kafaji. Volti. Still the Albion desperate to get a foothold back in this game. Sideways it goes to Mead. Just being played at the Gunners' tempo at the moment. Reed. Now Mornham. Mead again. Moy waiting to pick her pass. Seike eventually able to close down, and Villamala tussles with Cooney Cross to see it away. Villamala chasing down for Moy. Showed a cool head in that situation. And Villamala steals back in to get Brighton and Hove Albion up the pitch again. Could do with a spell of possession here, the home side. Poppy Pattinson in front of manager Daria Vidicic. Mentioned he took over this summer, playing career. It took him all over the world: Australia, Germany, Switzerland, China, India, New Zealand. As a manager, then taking charge Melbourne. Down the line for the Seagulls, Pattinson the target. Arsenal back on it. Reed. Straight through to Melina Lurk. Villamala. Pattinson, the outlet again. Up the line for Madison Haley. It's right back to Arsenal though. And that's what needs to change for the Seagulls. How many waves of Arsenal pressure can they withstand? Lurk into touch. Arsenal throw. Now holding firm at the moment, Brighton and Hove Albion. Just wonder whether that's sustainable for the 90 minutes or extra time should we need it. A reminder that unlike the group stage games in this competition that go straight to penalties, if we are still level at the end of 90 tonight, it'll be 30 minutes of extra time, then a penalty shootout to decide who moves on to the semi-finals. Kafaji. Albion throw. Manuela Zinsberger. Rubenmoy. Mornham round the corner to Mead. Rousseau. Stepped across by Guro Bergsvand, illegally so. The eyes of the referee, Lisa Ben. So Arsenal will have a free kick on the right-hand side, ticking towards half-time here at Broadfield Stadium. Still awaiting the news of how much added time we will have. It's a first half that's swung back and forth, even if chances have been few and far between. Right now it is swinging the way of Arsenal. Cooney Cross and Katie McCabe over the set piece. Be an in-swinger from Katie McCabe, or drifting away from Lurk off the right boot of Cooney Cross. You imagine from this sort of position it fancies McCabe's left, who could just whip it into that corridor between Albion's line and the goalkeeper Melina Lurk. Two in the Albion wall. McCabe delivers into a good area. Haley able to meet it with a powerful header away. Villamala. Jankovic trying to give chase and urging others in blue and white to join her. Just as that happens, Leah Volti has gone down and immediately signalled to the bench. Well, never a good sign when a player immediately calls over to the dugout. Volti didn't need long to think about that. Does give Dario Vidicic a chance to chat to Poppy Pattinson. He's joined now in the women's setup by his father, who has recently taken a role as the head of women and girls coaching, Rado Vidicic, who's also managing with Melbourne City, where he won silverware as part of the coaching staff of the women's and men's squad. It's a family reunion on the south coast. This is perhaps the trickiest spell that Dario Vidicic has had to endure so far in his short Brighton and Hove Albion tenure. It's just one win in the last 5 in all competitions, and 2 really recent frustrating results. Away at Liverpool, a 2-1 defeat, which many amidst the Albion ranks felt was their worst performance of the season, despite only falling 2-1. And also a 1-1 draw with Spurs, where chances weren't taken, which could have won the Albion that game. Five minutes the added time. And we're into those 5 at the moment as we wait for Leah Volti to either continue or be replaced. Still down on the deck. Volti shaking her head, Swiss midfielder. Not a good sign. But pops back up now. Well, at least for the moment, Mia Volti will make way. And it is confirmed that she will have to depart. So Volti is off, Kim Little is on for Arsenal. 140 times as Scotland international, Kim Little. She's up off the bench to replace Swiss midfielder Leah Volti. Hugely experienced 34-year-old who notched her 350th Arsenal appearance this season, earlier against West Ham, in off the bench. Miscue from McCabe. Mead scooping one towards Mornham. Vicky Losada judged to have had a hold of Mornham. Russo darting up the line. Arsenal looking to end this half strong. Katie Reid battling with Pattinson, who does well, Poppy Pattinson. Chankovic. In fact, it was Bergsvan rolling it straight out of play. Vubben-Moy for Arsenal. Imagine René Schleger's only complaint will be the lack of clear-cut chances created. Still time in this first half for one of these two teams to go into the break with an advantage. Reid, Vubben-Moy. Mornham. Scooped back towards Beth Mead. And Lurk did well. Grabbed the hold of it with two hands. Mead. Vubben-Moy, final minute of added time at the end of the first 45. Little turning as Kafaji, but turning into trouble. Losada to McLaughlin. Seke now popping up on the right. Chankovic can't keep the ball in play. Kafaji. Arsenal throw. Cadena. Back to Vubben-Moy. Seen plenty of the ball in this first half. Cooney cross. Will play over the allotted 5 minutes because of that injury to Leah Volti. Reid. Down the line for Russo, trying to take it past Bergsvan again. That's developing into a fascinating battle. Alessia Russo. Mead. Little, the substitute. Russo again has played it off Bergsvan. Arsenal will have a corner kick right at the tail end of this first half. It would be perhaps the most painful time to concede for the Seagulls. Maybe the most damaging. This a real opportunity to take a hold of the tie. Reid making her way into the 6-yard box. Mead waiting with intent, 20 yards from goal. In it goes towards the hands of Lurk, who confidently plucked that one out the air. Couldn't get the Albion moving quickly because of Russo's attentions. Smashed forwards by Lurk. Still we play on. Losada twice misses the bouncing ball. Sumptuous turn by Cooney Cross away from two challenges, and Reid is fouled. And Arsenal will have a quick free kick. Cadena. Little. Driven in towards Russo. Holding off Thorisdottir. Little again. Scooping one goalward from range. Mead is jumping. Helped away by Kiko Seike. And that will do it for the first 45 here at Broadfield. Well, it was tight, it was cagey, it was everything you'd expect from a cup quarter-final, and with chances few and far between. Half-time here at Broadfield. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 0.
If you're looking for food or drink at half-time, the majority of your options are in the south end of the ground, behind the evening utility stand. The majority of food and drink outlets situated behind the evening utility stand at the south of the ground. Whilst we're at half-time, a very big thank you to club sponsors American Express, Nike and Experience Facility. And we'd also like to thank our host, Crawley Town Football Club, as well as the Sussex County FA for their ongoing support.
Welcome back to second half coverage of Brighton and Hove Albion versus Arsenal in the Women's League Cup quarter-final. 0-0 at the break then. This one of 4 quarter-finals taking place this evening across the Women's League Cup, all at various stages. Chelsea 5 up on Durham in their home game. Man United trailing Manchester City 2-1. Around 64 minutes played. Also half-time between Tottenham and West Ham, where the Hammers lead 2-1. This the only game goalless. Brighton the first to emerge from the tunnel. Arsenal slowly trotting out to join them, and it will be Alessia Russo to get this second half underway for the Gunners. Lisa Ben gets us back underway. Who can take a hold of this second half and book their ticket in the semi-finals then? A game that's on a knife edge. Maybe things will just start to open up as legs tire. McCabe back to Vubben-Moy, childhood Arsenal fan, who has really stepped up in the last couple of seasons. Her development certainly wasn't a guaranteed starter when she first arrived at the club. She's taken huge strides since. It's been very good this evening for the Gunners. Madison Haley, quiet evening for her thus far. Albion give away the free kick. Kafaji. Arsenal will get it moving with Kim Little. Now, Laia Kadina out to Katie McCabe. Put in some really good deliveries in that first half. Katie McCabe. Cooney cross. Mead trying to flick it towards Russo. Cankovic. McLaughlin couldn't control. Russo will steal it back. Arsenal now shooting towards that vocal away following. Mead drifting towards the byline, across the face of goal, and Bergsvan had to get a touch on that. Kafaji was stealing in. Wicked delivery from the left by Beth Mead, and good work to get her into a position to cross. Such pace on it, that could have gone anywhere. Thankfully for Guro Bergsvand, it's out behind for an Arsenal corner kick. Good defending. Knew an intervention needed to be made and took charge in her own 6-yard box. Arsenal corner kick. Driven in from the right, deep towards the back post. Lurks there again. Wonder whether Albion could just find that next gear in this second half. Kafaji stealing it back for the away side. Mornham will give it right back to the Albion. A reminder of the lineups, just the one substitution taking place so far, and that's Leah Volti making way for Katie McCabe. So for Arsenal, it's Zinsberger in goal, Reid, Vubben-Moy, Kadina and McCabe, the back four. Cooney Cross, now Little, and Mornham in the middle, with Kafaji, Mead and Russo up top. And Brighton and Hove Albion, the line is led by Madison Haley, with Villamala and Seke just behind her. Rachel McLaughlin, the right wing back, Anna Schlagers, a left wing back, with Cankovic and Lasada in the middle, and Guro Bergsvand, Maria Thorisdottir and Poppy Pattinson, the back three, in front of Melina Lurk. Front three closing down Zinsberger here, but coolly done to sneak it away to Cooney Cross. Slip from Haley. Kadina. Straight to Seike. Cankovic will have work to do to keep this in play. Couldn't do it. Arsenal throw. Full of running to like Cankovic for the Albion, but hasn't really been able to influence the game as she would have hoped. A player that won 7 trophies in her native Serbia with Subotica. Career that also took her to Barcelona, Ferencváros, Rosengard, and of course Chelsea, from whom she joined. Vubenmoy, Mornham, Haley gets her foot in. Space for Lasada. Prods it towards Ola Schlagers, who's done well. Now Maria Thorisdottir. Wide from Ola Schlagers. Haley. Excellent turn. Katie Reid left with little choice but to tug down Madison Haley. And the game's first booking goes the way of the young right back. Superb work from Haley, who stayed sharp despite not seeing much of the ball. Quickly shifted it from left to right and spun in behind Reid. And now the Seagulls with a chance to deliver. In a game that's been as tightly congested and as disjointed as this one, set pieces might offer a precious opportunity to open it up. Ola Schlagers and Lasada stand over the set piece. Imagine from this angle, they'll attempt to whip it onto the head of someone in blue and white in the middle. Lasada to cross. In it goes. Hooked away by Mornham. Cooney cross. And give it right back to Lasada. Pattinson. Not too happy with any of her options so far. Zinsberger. Seike making life difficult for McCabe. Seike was looking for Villamala, found Lasada. Cankovic with a neat drag into Seike's path, but Kadina able to read it, and Arsenal with a throw, but penned deep inside their own half, the Gunners. McLaughlin inadvertently has helped that on to Rousseau. He's up against Thorisdottir. On goes Rousseau, advantage played, cross goes in, Bergsvard deals with it. Little. Mead. Will anyone pull the trigger for Arsenal? Crossed in towards Mead again. McLaughlin can help it away. Here's Seike. Is there a counter on? No, not a free kick either. Seike will have to recover. It's 2-on-1 for Arsenal up this left-hand side. Rousseau. Albion back in their shape. Cooney cross. Cooney cross again. McLaughlin there to block again, as she was in the first half. Referee Lisa Benn wants a word with Rachel McLaughlin. Too short, this is in reference to. Regardless, it will be an Arsenal corner kick. If you are just joining us on My Albion TV, it is still Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 0. First half, a few chances. The second, which has continued in largely the same vein, but Arsenal with a set piece here. Looping towards the back post this time. Vubenmoy jumped with Haley. Little. Kafaji was shaping to try and strike goalward. Bergsvan did very well. Villamala is giving it right back to the Gunners. Arsenal with around 60% of the possession so far. 6 shots to the Seagulls, 1. It's just the 2 on target though. They're going to make a substitution here. The Gunners, Mariona Caldente is going to come on. And Beth Mead's race is run. We're also going to see Emily Fox on as well, and Katie Reid, the youngster on a yellow card, will be sacrificed. Emily Fox, a US international, teammate of Vubenmoy and Rousseau at North Carolina. The Tar Heels is on. So Fox and Caldente on, Mead and Reid the pair off. Cooney cross. Now Vubenmoy does that so well. Kyra Cooney cross drops into those spaces in midfield. Always a willing receiver of the ball. Now Little made little impact off the bench. Vubenmoy. First touches for Caldente. Immediately into Kafaji. Swung towards Rousseau, nodded on and nodded wide. Half chances, nothing more for Alessia Rousseau this evening. But normally they're enough for a striker of her quality. That one came off her shoulder as much as anything. Kafaji helped it onto the right wing. Was driven onto Rousseau's head. And awkwardly glanced wide. Smash long. Haley just colliding over halfway. It's down on the deck. Seagulls will maybe not get a free kick. Perhaps referee Lisa Benn just stopping that for a head injury. Brighton and Hove Albion are going to make a triple substitution in response to what Dario Vidicic has seen. Former Arsenal forward Nikita Paris is going to come on. Netted a double in the Seagulls' last game in this competition against Bristol City. Maria Torres-Dotter is going to make way. Karabali is also on, with Chankovic departing. And we're also going to see Maisie Simons step onto the pitch, a central midfielder. And it will be Bruna Villamala, who's been uncharacteristically quiet tonight, to depart. So Simons, Karabali and Paris, the 3 to come on. It is Chankovic, Torres-Dotter and Villamala to come off. Not all of those exactly like for like, so maybe there'll be a little shuffling of the pack from Dario Vidicic. Simon's a central midfielder. Karabali can play full-back or centre-back in a 3. Nikita Paris, as I'm sure we're all aware, is an out-and-out striker. It is a central midfielder, a centre-back, an attacking midfielder making way in Villamala, Thorisdottir and Cankovic. Our mark has been and gone, or is just approaching rather. Given away by Karabali with virtually our first touch. Russo helps it on to Kafaji. Back towards Alessia Russo, waiting for it to drop. Cooney cross. Caldente. Back towards Cooney cross. Swept wide to McCabe, driven in towards Russo. Kafaji also lunging in, neither can make clean contact. Vubenmoy, Kafaji, out of play. Arsenal corner kick coming up. Baptism of fire for the Albion substitutes, thrown immediately into defensive action as McCabe tries to pick out Alessia Russo in the middle. Kafaji had a lunge as well, neither can make contact. Arsenal had a spell like this as the first half drew to a conclusion. They weren't able to score. Maybe they can make it count this time around. Corner kick taken short. Driven in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, struck through the crowd, off the upright. Where will it land? Russo's had a hack. Still not cleared by the Albion. Through the crowd by Kadina. Missed by Ola Schlagers. And McLaughlin eventually sees it away. Little. Rene Schlager's side have the bit between their teeth at the moment. Still the black shirts stay forward. Space for Fox, the substitute, trying to cut it back. And Bergsvan's there to see it away. Took a second touch though off Fox. Albion goal kick. Here was the chance, the golden chance. Caldente smashed through the crowd, and then it ran for Russo. You were just waiting for the net to bulge. A combination of Haley and Bergsvan with last-ditch defending got in the way. The loudest and largest warning sign yet. Smashed out towards the left-hand side. Kadina. McCabe stepping inside of Seke. Seke back on it for the Albion. Katie McCabe to take the resulting throw. By far the closest either side have come to finding an opener. What do Brighton and Hove Albion have in the way of a response? I think Dario Vidicic will be delighted with the defensive shape, the way the Albion have defended their penalty area, particularly when Arsenal have got the ball wide. However, going forward, they've still struggled to make things click. Russo chasing down that long ball, which is scooped up by Melina Lurk. Given away by Lurk. Caldente, alarm bells ringing again, and it's struck home by Frida Mornham. The architect of the Albion's downfall at the Emirates puts Arsenal ahead in the League Cup quarter-final. They stole it high, they took their time, And they found Frida Mornham, who buried it from close range. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 1. Lurk tried to find Lasada, Caldente read it, and Mornham made the Seagulls pay. Just been speaking about the increased composure, increased solidity of the Albion. And that is not a goal they will want to see back in a hurry. Caught in possession, facing their own goal. Lasada had her pocket picked by the fresh legs of Caldente. And Arsenal have themselves the lead in the quarter-finals. And if the Albion are to exit tonight, they will be desperate that it's not down to that goal. Haley came back from an offside position. Full time in the game between Chelsea and Durham. Chelsea have won that 5-0. They've already booked their place in the semi-final. 5 minutes left to go between Manchester United and Man City, with the citizens leading 2-1. Arsenal just took the lead here. McCabe looking to add a second with her delivery. Into the middle it goes. Mornham closest to it. Fox seeing off Haley. Kafaji. Mornham, lovely ball back to Little, swung goalward, Karabali away. Fox and Moy combined to steal it right back though. It is all Arsenal at the moment. The Seagulls need to get a hold of this quarter-final quickly. Moy. Little, Caldente. Mornham sends it wide. Frida Mornham standing, it had been a very quiet evening. Always poses threat though, good delivery there. Pattinson. Kafaji chasing her down. Moy back on it for Arsenal. Albion just cannot get out their own penalty area. And in behind again is Alessia Russo, rolled back into the middle. And Katie McCabe has a second for Arsenal. All too easy for the away side. Brighton and Hove Albion never reacted after having their bell rung by the first goal. And Arsenal take advantage, pinning the Seagulls deep, working it beautifully to Russo, who guided it across the face of goal, and McCabe with a tap-in makes it Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 2. It had been coming. First goal, somewhat of a shock with the way it occurred. The second, written all over the pitch in the last 5 minutes or so. That is a nightmarish last couple of minutes for the Albion. Frida Mornham in the 65th. And then Katie McCabe in the 68th. Bergsvand. Seke trying to lay it back off to McLaughlin. It's going to take an almighty response now from Brighton and Hove Albion. And Frida Mornham could inflict further damage. McCabe, Caldente in fact, who scoops it up on the left. Laid off to Cooney Cross, there's a third. 3 goals, 4 minutes. Arsenal might just have wrapped up this quarter-final in the blink of an eye. And if there's going to be a goal to do it, it's that strike from Cooney Cross. An almighty hit into the top corner. They are blitzing Brighton and Hove Albion. Caldente laid off to Cooney Cross, who wrapped her right foot across the ball. An unstoppable strike past Lurk. Well, where did this quarter-final go? 4 minutes of madness, and Arsenal have 3 swift goals. It was 3 goals in 6 minutes in the away game to open it up. 3 and 4 here. McLaughlin. And perhaps most frustrating of all for Dario Vidicic will be 4 minutes has undone 66 minutes of resilient, hard-fought defensive work. That goal just ticking over a couple of seconds into the 70th minute. But the point remains the same. Monham 65, McCabe 68, Cooney Cross 70. Matter of seconds, really. McLaughlin looking for Paris in behind, finding Manuela Zinsberger. For 65 minutes, Arsenal were in a dogfight. A bitty, ugly toe-to-toe game, and now they can rather stroll their way to the semi-finals. Albion need to give them something to think about. Find a spark, find a goal from somewhere. Be all the more difficult now, Arsenal having the luxury of possession and having no need to open themselves up. Caldente. Will be little to spin one forward. Russo up against Karabali. Did well. McCabe, Arsenal thirsty yet again for more goals. McCabe. Cooney Cross. They're really strutting their stuff now. Have to credit Arsenal for the passing moves that led to those goals and the substitutions which have made a real impact. Caldente has been brilliant. Little as well has added some speed. Fox at right back has caused Brighton and Hove Albion problems as well and kept those waves of attack alive with some good challenges, recycling possession. Brighton and Hove Albion respond with a couple of substitutions. We are going to see Diana Stefanovic. A nice moment individually at least. A long layoff for injury for Stefanovic. And she will come onto the pitch to complete her return for the Albion. Going to see Paulina Bremer as well. So Diana Stefanovic on for Vicky Lasada. Paulina Bremer taking the place of Madison Haley. Lofted long by Karabali. Good touch by Nikita Paris. I think that might be potentially her first. Haven't been able to get her involved since bringing Nikita Paris off the bench. Here's Maisie Simons. Seike. Loses out to Mariona Caldante. Cooney Cross has just oozed class. He's given it away there though. Little. This would be a 10th win in a row for Arsenal in all competitions. The turnaround which has been fantastic since the departure of Jonas Eidevall, the introduction of René Sleggers, and that very first win in that run, at 5-0 at the Emirates against Brighton and Hove Albion. They'd be unbeaten in 13 as well. They like this competition, the Gunners. They've won 7 of them, including the last 2, beating Chelsea in both finals. 1-0 victory over the Blues last year, courtesy of Stina Blackstenius in extra time. The year before that, beat Chelsea 3-1 at Selhurst Park. Blackstenius, Little and Niamh Charles, the goal scorers. Just a real shift in intensity and energy about Arsenal in this second half, and it's told. Pattinson, who can will the Seagulls back into this game, at least give the home support something to shout about. Karabali. Lurk. Karabali. First Colombian to sign in English women's football. Joran Karabali. Sideways to Guro Bergsvand. Away at Manchester United this weekend in the Women's Super League. Brighton and Hove Albion will need to improve on tonight's showing to get anything from that. Frida Mornham twisting into space. Caldente on it again for Arsenal, full of running, full of energy. And wins a corner kick off McLaughlin. Arsenal corner kick coming up from the left. Will be a substitution as well. And it is Stina Blackstenius, the hero of this competition for the last couple of seasons for Arsenal, coming on. So too is Leah Williamson. Maybe not been Leah Williamson's best season individually, but still a player of real quality. She'll replace Laia Kadina. And a huge roar for Williamson, still a hero for all fans of women's football, let alone Arsenal fans, for her exploits with England. It is Kadina and Alessia Russo, the former Seagull, to make way. Short it goes, Little. McCabe. Part of the furniture at Arsenal. Little and McCabe always seem to be present. Caldente crossing towards Fox. In fact, it was Mornham's header downward. Couldn't send it past Melina Lurk. Never generated the power, the Norwegian. Guro Bergsvand urging the Albion forward, now wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Vicky Lasada. Ola Schlagers, Lurk, still the Seagulls will play their way and stay principled. Arsenal have won it high. Bremer. Stefanovic. Couldn't find Seike. Caravali trying to help it forward again. Hard to put your finger on exactly what has gone wrong for Brighton and Hove Albion in possession. Just haven't been able to find blue and white shirts in the space, but there's maybe something to change that. Right, it goes to Seike. Karabali with the throw. McLaughlin looking for Seike. Caldente there again for Arsenal. Something for Blackstenius to chase. Karabali was caught late by Mornham. That was a poor challenge. Not one that really needed to be made. Apologetic hand waved by Frida Mornham, who's urged to calm down. Mornham, who's got now 5 goals in 7 games against the Seagulls, 2 this season. Stefanovic. Seike to McLaughlin. Vuven Moy. Elegantly done to turn upfield. Caldente. The rare misplaced touch. Stefanovic into Ola Schlagers. Pattinson. Back to Bergsvand. Across to Caravali. Still Nikita Paris waits for the ball to reach her. Arsenal will break with Blackstenius. Kafaji. Blackstenius looked to have gone a step early there. Flag stays down. Lofted long to the right wing. Rosa Kafaji. Caldente. Fox will bounce up for Mornham. Out came Lurk. Helped away, struck back goalward, and it's a fine finish for the 4th. Caldente strikes to make it Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 4, and it was an instinctive, cultured finish that sailed over the top of Lurk. Never hesitated, guided it goalward and into the back of the net. Well, she's been the best player on the pitch since she came off the bench, and there's been plenty of candidates for Arsenal in that category. And when it fell to her 25 yards from goal, had the presence of mind just to send it sailing over Lurk and into the back of the net. Brighton and Hove Albion can have few complaints. Arsenal have shown why they've won 10 games in a row in this second half. They are oozing confidence. Cooney cross into Fox. Brighton and Hove Albion have always found life difficult against the Gunners. Have never beaten Arsenal in any competition. Did draw 0-0 with them in the Women's League Cup in the 1920 season. Did win the penalty shootout that day as well for a bonus point in the group stages, but that is as good as it has got for the Seagulls against the Gunners. And the trend continuing in emphatic fashion this evening. Monham, wide to the right for Fox. Still Arsenal, step forward. Kafaji. And Cooney cross, looking for a fifth, and wasn't too far away from finding one. Popped up nicely for Cooney Cross, who's already scored one screamer today from a similar position. Couldn't quite wrap her foot around that one. Caldente putting the pressure on again. Headed forward. Stefanovic winning it back for the Seagulls in midfield. Mariana Caldente into Cooney Cross, still fighting as Nikita Paris, just about kept it in play. Not in the eyes of the assistant. Ticking towards full time now, and surely the attentions of Brighton and Hove Albion will turn to that game at the weekend. Just pride on the line now for the Seagulls. For Arsenal, it's a trip away to Chelsea and then away to Manchester City before a North London derby against Tottenham, so perhaps the most important 3 games of their season coming up in a short space of time. Ola Schlagers finds Simons. Pattinson. Ola Schlagers seen off it. Stefanovic looking for Seike, it's a tidy ball. And there was Zinsberger to spray it out of play. Little fouled, helped to her feet by Caldente. Over the top, Blackstenius giving chase against Bergsvand. Blackstenius has robbed it back for Arsenal. And Bergsvand had to leap in front of it to block. An Arsenal corner kick coming up from the left. And Cooney Cross will take. They're looking for a fifth, the Gunners. Given that away support that have travelled in number, plenty to sing about this evening. Corner kick taken short. In behind, chance for Little to squeeze in across. Bounces to Blackstenius. Fox. Caldente. In towards the back post where Blackstenius headed it down towards the bottom corner, and Lurk reacted well to ensure it just remains the 4. Lovely delivery by Caldente. Already sung her praises more than once this evening for the impact she's had off the bench. And Blackstenius with a downward header, which Lurk had to save. Guro Bergsvand looking up the line. Stefanovic taking over in the middle. Cooney cross, scooping it over the head of Stefanovic. Paris nibbling at the heels of Caldente. Seke, change of pace. He's done well there, Kiko Seke. Hung up towards Simons. Paulina Bremer. Stefanovic surely struck the arm of Cooney Cross. Decision does go the Albion's way. Well, this is a position of some promise and a chance, at the very least, for maybe someone in blue and white to show what they could do from a set piece. It is Ola Schlagers and Simon standing over it. Maisie Simons has already scored a direct free kick in the League Cup away at Birmingham earlier on in the season. Carabali also joining in the conversation. You imagine Maisie Simons would be able to pull rank given her history from set pieces, but maybe the left boot of Ola Schlagers will be preferred. 5 minutes of added time coming up. An opportunity for a consolation for the Seagulls. Waiting is Zinsberger. Will it be the left boot of Ola Schlagers or the right of Maisie Simons? Up steps Ola Schlagers. It's over the top and behind. Never really troubling Zinsberger. Couldn't get it up and down the wall from such close proximity. Still goal kick. Caldente. Driving forward is Mornham. Kafaji wanting to get in on the act for Arsenal. Won't do so like that. Tame effort, sails over the top of the crossbar. Brighton and Hove Albion have a big few games coming up for them as well. Games they'll fancy their chances to take some points. Manchester United, who they held at home at the Amex. They go away to Manchester this weekend. Then it's home to Crystal Palace. Their own rivalry before an away trip to West Ham up in Dagenham. Certainly the Palace game and the West Ham game should be eyed as opportunities for 3 points. They've been competitive against Manchester United recently as well, the Seagulls, so that again presents an opportunity. Regardless of tonight, it has been a brilliant first half of the season. Seke. Williamson. Now Poppy Pattinson. Offside was Paulina Bremer. Zinsberger again. And unfortunately, what that 4 minutes did for Brighton and Hove Albion was allow Arsenal to do this, to just keep the ball, play the game at their pace, their tempo, squeeze the life and hope out of the Seagulls, and it was always going to be a long way back. I wonder how differently this game may have played out. Brighton and Hove Albion have been able to see Arsenal and frustrate them deeper into time. Blackstenius. Kafaji, Fox, another that's just been outstanding off the bench for Arsenal. Their subs have added real quality this evening. Kafaji, lovely footwork. Wins another corner kick for the Gunners, which should be the last action of this quarter-final and the last action of Brighton and Hove Albion's Women's League Cup campaign. Cooney Cross slowly strutting over to take any number out there. Could stake a claim at player of the match. Caldente, Cooney Cross. Perhaps the two leading candidates, both on the score sheet. McCabe's performed well as well. And she'll take this corner kick. The last act in a dominant second 45 for the Gunners. 3 goals in the space of 5 minutes, and then a fourth from Mariona Caldente. Ends a dominant second half for the away side. It finishes here, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 4.